Welcome, friends. Today we are going to see a concept on Python strings. As you people are already might aware about the string concept, which is also a concept of many programming languages. So basically, a string is a collection of characters. A group of characters forms a single string. So here, the same concept can also be implemented in Python programming language, but you can find some of the differences with respect to other languages. The thing is that here we can use in strings, we can use single quotes, we can use double quotes, okay. Also, we can use triple quotes, but for other purpose. But right now, we'll see what are the uses of this one, what are the uses of this one. So we'll see that how we are actually creating a strings here, okay, possibly. So here I'm just taking a variable where I can take the value here, and here in the variable, no need of specifying the type of variable because the value of the variable itself determine what is the type of a value here. So here a is a variable I have taken, and I'm taking the value. That means I'm using strings here. So normally the strings can be represented with the help of double quotes. I'm just using double quotes here. So you can see that when I'm taking a string called hello, now the variable a will be considered as a string variable. So here if I'm just printing the value of a, you'll get the value of a as hello. Similarly, we can also use single quotes because here we don't have any type of character data type. Like in C programming language, we have already seen that single quotes will be used for character data type and double quotes will be used for strings. But here, the single quotes will also be used for strings because there is no character data type. So you can take a value called, for example, I'm using a variable called b here, and I'm using single quotes. So I can take some other value like I'll just take good day. So I'm using here a string, and you can see that the string has been created good day. If I take the value of b, you can see that the string has been created, and the value good day has been assigned to another variable. That means if I want to print a, then I can simply print a with the help of print statement. So with this we'll get the value of a here, and if you just want a value of b, then you can use print of b so that the value of b will be get printed here. So this is something which is being used for single quotes and for double quotes. But apart from single quotes and double quotes, we can also use triple quotes here. So here we'll be seeing an example here with the help of single quotes. So before that, first we will see that if I use double quotes, for example, if I'm writing hello, then if I want to write in the next line the content of the strings, I cannot write it, and this is just limited to that line itself. For example, like if in order to go to the next line, when I enter, when I press enter, you can see that there is a syntax error. So because of that, one can say that you cannot use double quotes or single quotes also for multi-line strings. Then how can we use multi-line strings? You can use a multi-line string concept with the help of triple quotes. So here I'm taking a variable called C now. I'm just using triple quotes here. So you can see that I'm writing this is string. I'm writing the concept basics in the next line. So basics. So you can see that you are taking the string in a multi-line, more than one line. That means the string part is this is string basics has been taken in a two lines, not in a single line. So when I just print C here, I mean directly I can also print C. So you can see that this is string and basics will be get printed here. Similarly, you can also use with the help of double quotes, but the double quotes you need to take in triple format. So here I'll be just taking one more string, multi-line string. So this is like I'll just write simple string basics. So you can see that I have created another string, okay, in a variable called D here. So when I just want to take D, you can see that it is printing. I mean, it is printing. One thing you can observe here is you are getting as backslash in here. Why we am getting backslash in here is because at the time of displaying, it also includes the new line comment. Why? Because in order to go to the next line, I'm pressing enter. That means it is going toward the next line. So when it goes to next line, ultimately backslash n will be taken here. So you can see that in both of this, the same example I have taken, but the form of representation is different here. Here for the variable D, I have taken double quotes for three times, and here I have taken single quotes for three times for variable C. So in that sense, we can say that strings you can have single quotes, you can also have double quotes, and you can use triple quotes for multi-line strings. So in this way, the strings basics has to be taken. Now, just now, what I said is about this one, like we don't have a character type. Just because of that reason, we can use single quotes and double quotes. And both of them literally are same. Only the representations are different, but both are same. If you want to take a character here in Python, just you can take a string with a single character, then you can assume, and that character you can take either in single quotes as well as you can take in double quotes. Now this is just now I have said you an example, like here also there is an example of strings. That means how can you create a strings and how can you assign values to a string. So here A, B and C we have taken. In the C you can see that there is an empty string you have taken. It means that you can also print empty string. Okay, so here C value is printing as an empty one, because the thing is that you can also have an empty strings here and you can print empty strings. So it also prints in that sense. And both of either A, B or C are the variables which stores different types of values. I mean that are string variables. Why? Because the string concept, it says that usually in Python, the variables, the values will be, I mean, the type of the variable will be decided at runtime. So that means it is dynamic type here. Just because of that reason, until and unless you won't assign any value to a variable, the type of the variable will not be get decided here. So the same thing, even I said you about multi-line strings here. So you can use multi-line strings. Here I'm using multi-line strings. So you can see that the multi-line strings has been used here. Now the next thing is about skip characters. What is exactly a skip characters? The concept of skip characters. So if you see this example here, Python is an easy and interesting language. So Python is an easy and interesting language. You can see that interesting is printing in double quotes, right? So when it is printing in double quotes, naturally what happens in a normal case, if I want to print interesting in double quotes, I cannot print it because it gives me an error. So because of that, in order to explicitly print the codes in the string part, you need to use backslash symbol here. So because of that, we are using here. So let's just check it here that how exactly we are using this one. So I'm just writing here. I'm just writing Python basics. This is Python basic tutorial. Okay. So you can observe here, if I'm just taking this one, if I take like this, it gives me an error here. Why? Because the problem here is whenever it reads the next quotes, it assumes that the string part is from here to here and from here to here. So it won't be considered as a actual part. That means the syntax will become as an invalid one. Now, in order to make sure that the Python should be appear in double quote, then you can at the time you can use skip characters here. So here I'm using this is so where I'm just writing here. So before that codes, I have to use skip characters. So I'm just writing here Python. Then again, in order to display the closing quotes, also I need to use this, and then I can write. Now you can see that this is my string has been printed, and in this string I'm able to print Python in double quotes. Similarly, you can also print in single quotes also. Just you need to use escape characters here. If you use that escape characters, then you can print either single quotes or double quotes here. Okay. And also the one more thing I just want to say you is, how can you know that this A is a string? So you can use it with the help of type function. So if I write here type of A, you can say that it belongs to a class called string. Basically, in Python, every values are in objects. So here, strings are actually objects. I mean, the values of strings are objects here, and they belongs to a class of strings. So in order to ensure that what type of variable it is, I mean A, if you want to know, you can use with the help of type function. If you use type of A, then you can print string. That means it prints class string. Okay. So we'll continue the remaining concept in the next session.